is Crystal. I'm a medical esthetician at Bliss Yoga Spa, and today I'm introducing our new exciting treatment called HydraFacial. And I have the reps with us, Lisa and Tyler today, and our lovely model, Kate. I'm going to start off with just doing an initial cleanse with Kate here.
Also, to let everybody know, we are running a special right now. So it's the Hydra Signature that we're doing, and it's $40 off right now. So if you use the promo code HydraFacial, you can get $40 off of that.
So, Crystal, are we using any special product right now? Is there anything we want to discuss about the cleansing portion?
No, I'm just doing an initial cleanse. Post-care, I really like our medical line in Environ. And for the Nutty Small event, we're actually discounting all Environ products by 15%. Promo code is Environ. The reason why I recommend Environ, it has vitamin A, C, and E listed throughout the product. Vitamin A, of course, is kind of like retinols are, prescription retinols are a potent form of vitamin A, but sometimes it can be very drying on the skin. And when we're dealing with any acne issues or anti-aging, exfoliation is key. So when we're addressing acne, the reason why people develop acne is because there is excessive sebum or oil production, and then dead skin layer buildup, and it can't be secreted to the surface of the skin. So vitamin A is going to help exfoliate that. When we're dealing with anti-aging, the key is exfoliation again, because anytime you exfoliate the skin, it's going to stimulate the dermis to produce new baby skin cells. So the great thing about the HydraFacial is that it requires no downtime. Any skin concerns, Kate?
No. What's bringing you in for this treatment?
I mean, I always like that youthful glow. You know, a little more even texture, hydration. Obviously, this time of year with winter coming up, my skin's feeling a little tighter.
So today we're just doing the signature facial, but we also have the deluxe and the platinum. The difference is with the use of the boosters and lights or lymphatic drainage. And Sarah will be doing another demo. I think she's going to be demoing the platinum facial.
10:30 Sunday.
And that's going to happen at 10:30 on Sunday. So Lisa, did you want to maybe go through what the first, or Tyler, the first step of the HydraFacial that we're going to be doing?
Sure. So the first step is always, of course, starting with a nice clean face, which obviously we've seen demonstrated already. One thing that's good is that they already have a lot of makeup or things like that. You want to make sure that it's nice and clean, right? Even if they come in and they've been out and about and they got a dirty face, it's a great way to kind of it's a good way to start the process, right? From there, you want to make sure that the first step that we're going to do is making sure that the face is well lubricated, basically. Right? We're going to be applying a liquid on there and just kind of moistening the whole face so that the tip of the machine can glide really smooth over the surface of the face and do the job to its perfection, right? So it's not going over and kind of jumping all over the place. It has a nice, smooth, consistent glide as it's going to go over. And one thing that I really like with the HydraFacial is as you move up from the signature, because the signature is a great way to kind of get started or an introduction to the world of HydraFacial there's not a lot of customizing. It's kind of a one-size-fits-all. Here's kind of a generic starter pack to get you started. As you work your way up and you're getting into the deluxe and the platinum, that's when you really get to customize it with dealing with the boosters, right? And the boosters are where you're going to say, what is my concern today? And let's really find the product that meets the needs. And that's what's really nice about it is no matter what your issue or concern is, HydraFacial is ideal for really getting into what that issue is when you work your way up into the more customizable services.
So what would you say is, like, could you maybe go through what the difference between the Signature, Deluxe, and Platinum is maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
More detail on this.
For sure. So when you're going from a Signature up to a Deluxe, at that point there, that's when you're adding in the boosters, right? So there's a ton of boosters to be able to choose from, and your specialist that you're dealing with is going to know what kind of meets your needs, right? You're going to say what your concerns are, and they're going to be able to find the booster that's right for you. Once they've made that decision, then they go through and then they customize it from there. And then to help set the boosters, you're also adding the element of LED lights on it. So there's two options of that. There's a blue light and there's a red light. Kind of depending on whether you're looking at circulatory issues or if you're looking more for acne. So the blue light is really good for the P. acne bacteria. They kind of clean that up. But the red one's a lot better for the circulation aspect. And then when you upgrade from the Deluxe up to the Platinum, that's when you're going to be adding the lymphatic system to the body. Right, to the system, to the person. The cool thing that I like, what sold me on the lymphatic system, is for one, it's like things like 500 to 600 like lymphatic nodes throughout the whole body. There's a ton of them, and for fluid-wise, there's over twice as much lymphatic fluid in the body as there is blood. Yet your blood has a heart, it has a pump to move that system around, but your lymphatic system doesn't. So how does this fluid move? It requires actual muscle movement. Right? And I only know one person whose face moves enough that doesn't require a lymphatic drainage, and that's Jim Carrey. Everybody else face doesn't move enough, right? And so it's just really relaxing and kind of sets the pace for the whole thing. Like for my story, I won a HydraFacial at an open house, and I sat there, and it was my first facial ever. I was very vanilla, a little nervous because I saw those videos of like this and that all over their face. I'm like, this is not my thing. And so I sat down and they started with the lymphatic, and I was sold from the beginning. Like, oh, this is so relaxing and calming. I almost fell asleep by the time the lymphatic alone was over.
What are we doing right now?
Right, Lisa, did you want to talk about
Right now, we're actually working with the Active 4. We're doing a deep cleanse. Our HydraFacial system is actually the only one with a closed circuit system. So there are two tubes. One brings it in, the other one takes it out. And we're preparing the face for extractions.
So is anything being infused in at this stage?
At the moment, from step one all the way to the very end, it is always infusion of hydration, but we are preparing now for extractions.
And so does this start to open any pores up those?
Yeah, it's actually a big substitute. So what you're usually used to when we're doing standard facials where we have to use the steam, you do not need that because of the strength of the vacuum. So we do not require steam. We are starting to open up the pores, and there is no use of steam. So anybody who loves getting their lashes done, this is a perfectly safe facial to be coming in for.
And sensitive skin too, right?
And
Some people get
sensitive skin.
sensitive with the steam.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the sensitive skin, one of the things that I really like with it is that you can, even if you are just coming in at a signature, where you're not customizing it with boosters, you can still customize it with the tip that is being used. So there's 3 different colors of tip. There's a blue, an orange, and a purple, right? So if you want to get really aggressive, you can work your way up through that. So depending on how oily the skin is, depending on how thick that skin is, things like that, you kind of can still customize it for their sensitivity that way. And what I find is really neat is even just today, actually, my mother's in town, and I gave her a HydraFacial. And it was neat looking at the end of the tip where you could actually see the things that were no longer on her face. And she was quite impressed by that. Like, not only do I feel way cleaner than before, I can literally see what is being removed. So it's nice to know that it's not just a gimmicky, sensational kind of a thing. You can actually see and feel the difference, which is cool.
So Kate, how are you feeling right now in this first cleansing
Good.
stage?
Yeah, really good. It's gentle. It's just a small kind of sucking feeling, but it's painless. Yeah, relaxing.
Nap worthy?
Nap worthy, yeah.
So it sucks just a little bit.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. Another thing to point out is that if you do have sensitivity or if you have rosacea, you can still use the HydraFacial machine because we can customize that for you and just turn down the suction levels.
So what would be some key areas where this would differ for, say, a microdermabrasion?
So with the microdermabrasion, as much as I love that one in the past, I was a big believer with the microderms. This is a HydraDermabrasion, so you're getting all the same benefits except you're leaving super hydrated, and every step of the way is hydrating as opposed to where we're kind of drying you out and then adding the moisture back in.
One thing that I thought was kind of interesting with the whole COVID thing and how a lot of businesses are struggling during this time, where the HydraFacial has progressively done well because it's a closed system, because it's disposable tips, because all those things, from a hygienic perspective, is perfect, right, for something like this. So you have that nice, clean feeling when you come in, and this office is amazing. If you guys haven't been here, make sure you come down. But just the fact that the whole unit is very hypoallergenic, the way that it's been designed is perfect for now time when people are even more aware and more cautious than ever in regards to the cleanliness, disposability, all that kind of stuff of everything they come in contact with. So I think that was kind of cool that they're doing exceptionally well there this time.
So are we moving on to the
We have moved on to step number 2. Step number 2 is what I call a peel. With any one of our facials, you will get a peel on your face. So we are using the 7.5, also in preparation for the extractions.
And so will you potentially see any peeling?
Unlike doing a full chemical peel, you will not have as severe peeling. You might have a little bit of sloughing, but it is not as intense. If you do come for a chemical peel, make sure you give yourself those 30 days in between to have a HydraFacial with your rejuvenated skin.
And is this a treatment that you'd be able to complement with injectables such as fillers and
Absolutely. The great thing about HydraFacial is that you can use it with pretty well anything. So anything that you are already doing, you can have that done with them with a certain amount of time in between. If you're coming with your injectables, we do recommend at least a 2-week wait. Let the injectables do what they're doing, settle in, and then come back and have a HydraFacial. We even have perks that we can incorporate as well.
And how is this part feeling, Kate? Like, is there a difference in the feel?
Yeah, it's still like a slight something.
Yeah.
Is it tingly?
A little bit tingly.
So going back to like how does it differ from Microderm? I find that Microderm is really cool technology. It's you're really buffing the surface of the skin, whereas with the HydraFacial, we're incorporating numerous types of acids to help exfoliate the skin. I find it works better because the acids work like a Pac-Man to eat away at the dead skin cells.
I like the visual of that Pac-Man. I'm totally going to step back. Yeah, one thing that I think is neat with the HydraFacial is it doesn't really matter what level you're coming into, it's perfect. Like someone like myself who's very vanilla, honestly, some of the things that now that I'm on Instagram and I'm looking at all these other treatments, some of them scare me, you know, especially when I see the fail pictures, you know. But it's never at this clinic, just pointing that out, never at this clinic, it's all those other ones, and it's just like, here's what not to do this treatment. And some of them are kind of terrifying, and so for myself, that just, you know, I wash my face, and for me, I kind of feel like brushing my teeth. Why would I go to the dentist and pay them to clean my teeth when I brush them every day? Because it's the right thing to do, right? Your face, your mouth feels cleaner when it's cleaned by a professional. Doesn't mean I'm not going to brush every day, but it's a cleanliness that only they can provide. right? I wash my face every day, and every new season, I come in for a new face, right? New summer, new spring, new fall, new winter, new HydraFacial, right? It really does make sense. And the other thing that's nice with that, if you buy them as a pack, when you buy the 4-pack is when you start getting discounts as well, right? That's when that starts. So buy an entire year's worth for yourself or your loved one. Great Christmas present. Here's 2022's presents. Done. New HydraFacial every season, right? It's kind of an awesome gift. So, yeah, or if they are doing a whole bunch of the other stuff, it still will just make whatever they're doing work better, right? It just makes the whole surface and the soil, as I call it, if you think in farmers' terms, right? You're having nice, rich, fertile soil, so as they're planting whatever you want in there, everything is going to just grow better, and you're going to get better results because you're dealing with a nice, clean, healthy starting foundation, which is fun. So. Yeah.
You have beautiful skin. Thank you.
She must be
Because I come here all the time. And I buy the product to take home.
So what are we doing now? Like what's
We are moving on to the beta. Beta is probably one of our most favorites because this is where we're going to be doing the extractions. And it's no longer those painful extractions where we manually manipulate the face. It's all done by the vacuum.
who doesn't love extractions?
It is the most satisfying part of the HydraFacial, I think. Besides seeing your gunky at the end.
Is there areas that you wouldn't want to do this on, or could you really do it on other areas of the body?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Focus on your neck, décolleté, back, hands, scalp, anywhere that there's skin. So basically our whole thing is if you have skin, you are in.
Yeah, I just picture that like hands, elbows. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some skin conditions which are not ideal. So if you have like open pimples or sores or wounds or things like that, obviously this is meant to be topical, not internal. So if there are open wounds, then either A, we're not going to do it, or they're going to just avoid that area if that's doable.
What
Right,
about
so.
other contraindications? Like, is there anything like if you have like eczemas or any other type of?
We can work on eczema. Mainly it is for if there are open sores or fully acneic. We might postpone your HydraFacial treatment, but we might, what a good option is to still come in, speak to the girls here as they are the professionals, and offer a lymphatic as well as LED lights.
So you could just
We
do
can build you up, yep.
And maybe another option, Crystal, if we were having a someone coming in with active acne, would we want to potentially start them on an active acne laser
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then move them into a HydraFacial?
So with any purchase of any laser, acne laser, you're getting 25% off the Environ Clarity and Clear Skin Care Set as well. Okay, and now we're just gonna neutralize the skin. So the first step that we did when we were softening the sebum with the blue tint, there was lactic acid in it. With the second step, we had glycolic acid and salicylic, like Lisa said. And then with the extractions, there was salicylic acid. And the beta HT.
And I don't know about anyone else, that's my favorite acid. I love salicylic acid.
That's all good things.
Like I bathe in it if I can.
You have
Well,
a
that's
favorite
why.
I mean, lactic's out there, but
What about citrus?
I do actually. I have a cleanser with citric acid in it, like our exfoliator. It's actually by one of our lines, Babor. Love it.
Random semi-off-topic thing, but if you're down in the tropics and you eat citrus food and you leave it on your skin in the sun, it causes extreme burning.
Or your hair if you were someone who was in the 80s.
Yeah, this is true.
Suck
This
it.
is true.
I see you smiling about it.
Oh, I use sun.
We're
kind of going into our final stage of a signature facial, and this is the part that we call our liquid gold. We leave everybody leaves looking like a beautiful glazy donut, or a nice hot yoga session.
So would this be a treatment that if someone had maybe an event they were going to, like they could do this the day up to have a bit more of a glow, or would you want some time?
I would totally recommend coming 1 or 2 days before, because you want the solutions to kind of do what they want to do. You wouldn't want to put makeup directly on top of it, not that you can't, but your day 2 and your day 3 are your most radiant.
After the first time I got mine, I won't stop talking about it, but I'm one of those people that, I oversell because I've been in sales for 25 years. And so I'm just really excited to be talking about it all the time. And I finally went, okay, I really need to dumb this down, Tyler, and stop overselling it. And it was around day 2 or day 3 that people started saying, Tyler, you have such a nice glow. And I'm like, yes, because I'm pregnant. Just kidding. But honestly, on day 2 or day 3 is when I was getting unsolicited comments and compliments on my face, which I was so upset about. Let me tell you about my HydraFacial. It really was one of those things that it was nice because then they were asking about it rather than just me. Like, I had this face clean and I got so nice and now I feel so clean. And so it was nice that they inspired those conversations. But yeah, day 2 and day 3 are really the magic days for looking your best with these things.
And so with that, how long can we expect to see that glow or that freshness carry on for? And obviously with that complimentary at-home skincare helps, I'm sure.
Yeah, like myself, I go for a HydraFacial between 4 to 6 weeks, right, between each one. And for me, I have noticed the difference, and I've heard difference from people when they're looking at my photos on Instagram or things like that there was a noticeable difference of skin condition, right? And I take photos all throughout that time, right? So just on a regular basis, coming in and maintaining that, it's just going to be an overall continual improvement. So as for peak days, I don't know exactly what that kind of gradual fade out goes, but I know overall I look way better in photos, complexion and everything, right? But yeah, the magic day is kind of that day 2, day 3. So again, don't show up the morning of your wedding kind of idea. So
you'll see it for the month. Yeah, for sure.
So once you have the treatment, you should see kind of a month's
worth
of residual
Which
effects.
is why we usually recommend, if you love it, come back once a month. It maintains that glow.
And a nice opportunity maybe too with the 3 different levels to be able to mix up kind of what you're coming back for in that 4 to 6 weeks.
yeah. And it also kind of depends on whether you're going in there with a purpose and an objective, right? So if you're going to say rehabilitate a muscle, for example, you have an objective and you got something you want to work on, right? When you're coming in, if you have something on your face that you want to work on, whether that's dry skin, acne, anti-aging, what have you, anti-aging, pigmentation, yeah, any of those things, then you have a purpose. So you might want to make your visits be a little closer together. Again, 1 month is kind of that minimal, right? And so I think a month to 6 months, 1 month to 6 weeks kind of area is kind of perfect for a continual coming in and addressing something. If you're looking at just maintaining, you go to get your teeth clean kind of idea, then a seasonal thing I think is kind of the minimum, new season, new face kind of idea. But that's my thoughts on it. I can't think of a better investment than the thing that everybody sees first. It's like you wake up in the morning, first thing I see, and my eyes are barely open by the time I make it to the bathroom, I see myself in the mirror. So it greets me first too, right? I like having the best me looking back at me. And you feel better. You go your whole day with more confidence when you're like, yeah, this is the best me, right? So I think it's a great investment.
So Kate, at this one, are you feeling kind of anything different, or is it still that same?
Still super gentle. This is probably the most gentle it's felt. Yeah, very minimal sucking sensation.
And then I have a question that just came in. How often can someone do lymphatic drainage?
I would say to give yourself at least 24 to 48 hours in between a lymphatic.
So you could do it quite frequent.
Yeah.
Would there be
any reason though to do it every 24 to 48 hours? Like, are you really going to see, you know, if you do it 2-3 times a week, that much difference?
If you experience more of the puffy eyes, or if you have issues with sinuses, so if you're suffering from sinuses, call them up. Call up, and come in here, because that's going to really help drain those areas. We're getting into cold and flu season, and that can be something that you can call them up and just book a class and come in before, and it's just going to really drain you out instantly. It really helps with those puffy eyes and congestion. So those would be my ultimate reasons to continuously come in for them for more often.
Awesome. So we've completed treatment now?
Yeah, I'm just cleaning the system and then I'll show you the debris at the bottom there. Right here. So you said, did you want to take?
I can.
So with the HydraFacial, there's a tank that collects all the debris that we're sucking off the face. So we're going to show you what that looks like here in a moment. Lisa's just going to bring it over to the camera.
Yeah, I'm going to put some light to it. Anything that's floating around, that's what came out of your face. So whatever's not blue is you.
Honestly, this is the thing that sold me on it. Like, afterwards, feeling clean was great. But again, being in sales for so long, I know there's a lot of kind of salesy, gimmicky things that you can do for like that sensory excitement. But the fact that I could see what was no longer in my pores, I'm just like, okay, this is hands down awesome. Could you imagine going to the dentist and actually seeing all the gunk that they take out of your teeth? Like, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make this. We do this every 3 months. You know, like, thank you for getting all those things that I missed. So for me, it was really neat, you know, to be able to see all the stuff. And I'm not one of those people that like watching those like pimple popping videos. I know the people, they love it and they love it, they're all excited. I am not that kind of person. But seeing my gunky container like just anchored my conviction in this process. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. This was awesome. I'm definitely coming back. And now I work for them.
So is there any products that you would recommend for skin and for Kate's unique skin type to prolong any effects of the HydraFacial?
I just put the Environ peptide serum. With the Environ, when I start my clients off with the Environ, I keep it really simple. It's just a cleanser, toner, moisturizer, and the retinol serum under your moisturizer at night. Again, retinol, concentrated form of vitamin A, aiding in exfoliation. And again, 50% off all Environ products. Promo code Environ, as well with any purchase of laser treatment with regards to the face. You will be entered to win a draw to win our microneedling set. That includes a CIT roller, a night serum, and a crown serum. Okay, Kate, how are you feeling?
Oh, excellent. Really good.
Like you're glowing.
Glowing.
Yeah, check out her glow.
Okay, and also the laser treatments, including Vela shape. No, all laser treatments excluding laser hair removal, will be discounted at 25%, and the promo code for that is event. Okay, well,
And then join you tomorrow at noon for laser skin tightening.
and join me tomorrow at noon for laser skin tightening.
And okay, I just have, so someone just put in a last minute question here. What was the promo code for the Environ 15% off?
Environ. Oh, the Hydra Signature facial will be, it's $40 off, and the promo code is HydraFacial.
And Aaron says, thanks for the demo.
Thank you for joining us.
And Leah would like to know what the cost of the HydraFacial is.
I think it's $199. And then $40 off of that with the promo code HydraFacial again.